Welcome back as we next discuss an important adjustment, namely tooth contact. The term tooth contact describes the position of the areas on the surfaces of meshing gears which make contact with each other. Upon an overhaul, this contact area is checked by performing what we call a contact pattern check. To begin the procedure, we shall require some mechanics blue as our marking agent and a soft brush. Now we paint the surfaces of 4 or 5 consecutive teeth on the gear wheel with a thin layer of mechanics blue. Then we miss 4 or 5 teeth and paint another set of 4 or 5. This is done all around the gear wheel. The input shaft is now rotated in its normal direction whilst the gear wheel is held to create a slight drag. The wheel should be rotated through at least 1 full revolution. At this time, we should begin to see a transfer of blue onto the unpainted teeth. It is the position and shape of this pattern that tells us whether the tooth contact is correct or not. In this example, the contact is much too far toward the edge of the teeth. In diagram form, an ideal pattern spreads over the central portion of a tooth. A lead is created on the side of the tooth into which the worm spiral enters the gear. This non-contact area provides for the entry of lubrication. Tooth contact is affected by the centralizing of the gear wheel upon its shaft axis and its relationship to the center of the worm shaft. For example, if the gear wheel is offset to the right of center, as viewed from the input shaft side, then the contact area will tend to the left side of the gear. Conversely, if the gear is offset to the left of center, then the contact will tend to the right of the gear. The offset is corrected by manipulating the shims behind the retainer and the oil catcher in order to move the gear toward the side showing the heavier marking. On our demonstration model, the pattern is concentrated to the left, so we must move the gear in that direction. To do this, shims must be removed from the output shaft side and placed behind the retainer. Note that whatever shims we remove from one side must be fitted to the other in order to maintain the preset end float. Having repositioned any shims, we must wipe clean the unpainted teeth before we run the next pattern check. Failure to set the gear wheel to its correct position will result in rapid gear tooth wear. After the break, we shall complete the assembling procedure.